Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm from Harper University in Newport, Shropshire, and I'm just going to briefly tell you a little bit about the university before going on talking about agriculture. So the university was traditionally a purely agricultural college with just 6 students back in 1901. Now we have around 3,000 students studying a whole range of courses, such as the ones on the screen. They're all 4 years with a 3rd year out on placement, apart from veterinary medicine, which is 5 years, and placement's done in the 5th year, but it's called rotations. The placement year at Harper, as I said, is in all our courses, and we find this quite vital because it enables you to actually put the theory into practice during your 12 months out in industry. As you can see by the map, you don't actually have to do your placement in the United Kingdom. You can go worldwide with it. It's completely up to you. The whole idea with the placement is gaining some experience and actually working out what you want to do as a career, and maybe what you thought you might want to do as a career, but maybe you've changed your mind and you want to explore other avenues. It is a paid placement. Some companies do provide you with sometimes accommodation or a company car, or maybe even a visa if you are abroad with it. But agriculture at Harper Adams is very broad to start off with in year 1, just because most people don't necessarily know where in the agricultural sector they might want to work in. Not necessarily our students have come from an agricultural background or come from working farms. So you're not at a disadvantage if you've never kind of been on a farm or have parents that farm, etc. Because it's not just about, you know, sitting on a tractor. They're highly skilled farmers, you know, that manage and give advice, you know, to even retailers, you know, on the supply chain, buying and selling produce for the supermarkets to sell. So first of all, everybody in year 1 studies straight agriculture, and that includes modules on animal science, crop production, farm business management, marketing, agricultural mechanization, and just the general underlying biology and environmental science behind agriculture, just to make sure everyone is on the same kind of knowledge front moving forward into year 2, because there will be some people in year 1 who have studied BTEC or even an A-level in agriculture. In order to get onto our agricultural course, you're looking at 96 to 112 UCAS points, or for those doing BTECs, Distinction Star and 2 distinctions, with ideally 10 weeks worth of work experience around the agricultural industry. So once you've done year 1 in straight agriculture, you can then choose to either continue doing straight agriculture with modules in everything, or you can then specialize. So the first option in specializing is, so before I go on to that, sorry, I forgot about this slide. The placement year for those doing straight agriculture, you can work as an assistant herd person, harvest team manager, a general machinery operation, arable farms, mixed farms, and the careers you can go into are managing farms at home or elsewhere, or even working in support industries like the NFU as advisor or Brown & Co. For those maybe who don't want to continue studying straight agriculture, but to specialise, one area that you can specialise in is agriculture with animal science. So this is more so for those that obviously are interested in more the animal side of agriculture and wanting to have their placement in livestock, in animal health, breeding, the feeding industries, in order for you to go into careers to develop those skills in the livestock sector, again, you know, at home or in other livestock enterprises. Or for those that are interested in crops, you can study agriculture with crop management. Those will be working in, you know, more the arable and fresh produce side as a crop processor, packing, a distributor, or even a field trial officer out on your placement year with companies like GFresh, Syngenta, Corteva, and there's a whole big list that goes on. And this is for careers that apply to the nature of the course in giving you an option to work as an agronomist, which we call like a soil doctor. So you're able to make sure the soil is getting the right nutrients to allow the crops to grow, or do pest control with fertilizers or pesticides. Otherwise, another option is to study agriculture or farm business management, and placements can be taken up with companies like Promar, Brown & Co, Bidwell's, so more kind of the farm office side, managing farm businesses, estates. And finally, the last option is studying agriculture with mechanization. So this is for those that kind of may want to study a bit of agriculture and engineering. This is like a good compromise, because obviously it's a bit of both. So those out on placement are working for machinery dealerships, manufacturers, and quite a lot of the manufacturers, even though your placement is based in the UK, sometimes within the 12 months, 3 months might be based in Germany in the operations. Otherwise, the careers lead on to skills that would develop you to work with machinery on highly mechanized farms, or running a successful contracting business, other options. It's also worth noting that for all the agricultural courses, you have to do your placement year at least 50 miles away from home. So even if you're thinking now, oh, I can do my placement year at home on the family farm or on the neighbours, unfortunately, it does have to be 50 miles away from home, just so that the business can actually open up the accountants to you, so you can actually see the nitty-gritty details of how that business works. Because if you're only down the road, chances are they're not going to let you see all the files within the office if you're just down the road, and you might be telling your parents, guardians, on what the next door neighbour farm's doing compared to yourselves. The placement year is not completely organised by Harper, but they do have a huge contacts list in industry of companies that we know that take Harper placement students on, and that placement fair happens this time every year, where you can talk to companies, find out what sort of placement year they're offering you, if visas are included, if it's abroad, accommodation, company cars, and the sort of job spec that they're wanting you to do over the 12 months. And then after the placement fair, they upload the jobs onto our portal to allow yourselves the opportunity to go back, have a look at them all, and then apply appropriately. Everyone is given a course manager to help you write your CVs, covering letters, practice interview techniques, either face-to-face or even over the phone, or assessment centres. So there's a lot of help in finding you a placement year. We don't just kind of give you one. Equally, if you've got your own connections that you want to pursue, maybe you know a coffee plantation in Kenya that you really want to go and do that, and that's absolutely fine. Harper will just have to make sure everything's above board and health and safety is in place, etc. Because you know it isn't a gap year, it is a working year, and you do actually have to do assignments whilst out on placement to make sure you are putting the theory into practice. During the course on campus, there is actually a working farm, so it's not all about being in the lecture theatre. You will be putting the theory into practice as the course goes on over the 4 years. The farm is a mixture of arable and livestock, and for those that haven't come from a farming background and want to gain more experience, or maybe you've come from an arable background and you want more livestock experience, or the other way around, there are often part-time jobs available on the farm for you to do in the evenings or weekends. Otherwise, if you simply just want to get involved with milking or lambing on a Wednesday afternoon, you can get involved. Obviously, some of those jobs are very seasonal, but there are opportunities to take part on a Wednesday, because Wednesday afternoon is dedicated for clubs and societies, as well as rural workshops, and this comes under a rural workshop. The campus itself is a very rural campus with a single site campus with a commercial farm on site. It's all in one walkable distance, and I do recommend kind of trying to come and have a look. Obviously, at the moment with the pandemic going on, unfortunately, we haven't got any dates in the diary for any physical events or tours, but this Saturday we do have a virtual open day, which you can register on our website, where you'll be able to meet the course managers. They'll be able to discuss the courses in more depth, and then there's a live Q&A session at the end where you can ask the tutors, course managers, any questions that you have about the courses, entry requirements, if you're doing a mixture of A-levels or BTECs, work experience. Equally, if you want to know more about the placement year or the student services in terms of support regarding dyslexia or even accommodation, everyone's on hand on Saturday. So please do register to attend our virtual open day. It's only 10 till 2, so it's just a couple of hours. And you'll be able to see some of these facilities listed on here, because we do have a kind of a virtual tour of the facility. So you will actually be able to see the farm from the comfort of the sofa, because the university does have state-of-the-art laboratories, innovative lecture theatres, where we can actually bring in a tractor into the lecture theatre to show you, what we mean when we're talking about the machinery or changing any implements added to the tractor. We've got an off-road vehicle track dedicated for the engineering workshops, a new veterinary school building, because we've just started offering veterinary medicine this September, just gone. We've got entomology building, which is a study of insects. Dairy Crest Innovation Centre is also at Harper. We've got the Sender building, which is dedicated for student support, plenty of sports on offer as well from the Students' Union. So Students' Union organises Freshers' Week, such as fancy dress parties, film nights, music, sports, comedy, day trips, even food events on-site and off-site. If you want to know more about the Students' Union in terms of clubs and society, do just type in "This is our Harper" on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch a 2-minute video on all the clubs and societies that are on offer. Finally, the university has got quite a few awards over the years, one of which that we're very proud of is being the #1 university for job prospects by What Uni award. This is contributed by our graduate employment rate at being 98.8%, and this is from the placement year, because when you are out on placement, it's almost like a trial interview, but it's just a year long. So if you like them and they like you, quite often they do ask you back as a full-time employee. So that's why our graduate employment rate is very high. We're also the best modern university for a few years running now by the Times Higher from 2017, 18, 19 and 2020. And we also have TEF Gold in teaching. If you do have any questions about any of our courses or Student Life, please do put them in the Q&A box. Otherwise, we hope to see you this Saturday at our open day. Thank you.